All right, crew, we are into raw vlog number 9. Raw vlogs are unscripted, relatively unstructured, and unedited, straight from camera to YouTube vlogs on my way to getting my Friday morning coffee. Uh, they're also a great way to engage with you, so please feel free to comment and let me know what you think, what you want to hear about, any responses to what I say, definitely responses to what I say, critiques, whatever you want in the comments. I love it. Please put it in there. Today's raw vlog, we're gonna go through a little bit of your feedback. I'm just gonna I don't have notes, I'm pulling stuff out of my head, so I'm gonna do my best to kind of remember the general feedback that I got. We're gonna go through that. We'll talk a little bit about my philosophy around this and why I do it and what the deal is. And then we're gonna hopefully have time to talk about my approach to crashing on the trail. So first off, I really appreciate all the feedback that I got. A lot of you just let me know that you do dig these raw vlogs, and that stokes me out. I was a bit insecure going into this, so it's cool to get that support from you. Thanks for that. Some of the critiques I got, I really appreciated it. I'm sorry that I'm not remembering your name, but one of you suggested that it'd be good if I just kind of let you know up front what you're getting in the raw vlog. And so you can see I kind of did that today. That's going to be somewhat accurate because these are raw and unedited and unstructured, and I try to make them 12 to 15 minutes. That's why I actually start recording right around the same place, because it takes me about that long from there to the parking lot of Stell Coffee and Tea. So I did that. There were some critiques about, like, you should edit these things, but that's kind of, goes against the idea of these, that they are raw and unedited. Because I also, well, we'll get into that in just a second. But the one that I'm kind of concerned about is somebody mentioned that the volume is not very good. I'm actually trying to get closer to the camera, but the volume is not great. Yeah, normally I process all my audio and stuff like that. Right now I'm just recording on an iPhone, so if I'm going to continue doing these, I might find a better audio recording system or something. But yeah, I do record it on the iPhone and then just post straight from the iPhone. So I'll continue doing it. Please continue to give me suggestions. Good stuff. So my whole thing with these raw vlogs is I wanted these things to be really efficient to produce, and I wanted them to be raw, like unfiltered, straight to you. And then I also wanted it to be a way to better engage with you, and just like really in the comments, hear your responses to what I think about stuff, hear what you think about it, all that kind of stuff. And so I find that even though there's not a ton of views on these compared to the other videos, the engagement is really good, and I'm stoked on that. So let's kind of keep that going. I'll try to figure out something for the audio, but I don't really know what that is yet. I know you can get mics for the iPhone, if you have any suggestions. But that actually kind of gets us to the next section here, which is like some of my rules around this. Like, that efficiency part is about, little bit of background. So I work a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. I train on Mondays and Wednesdays, so that leaves me like Monday a couple hours, Wednesday a couple hours after training to edit, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, a few hours there to edit video. And then if I need to, I will go into Friday night, and then sometimes even Saturday night and Sunday night, depending. So there's a fair chunks of time that go into editing my normal Monday videos, and so I wanted a way to produce a little bit of more like direct to you content, engagement content that doesn't take up a whole bunch of other time. So this allows me to like do this on my way to coffee, a time when I would normally just be listening to music or staring blankly through my windshield. I can utilize it to produce more content for you. So my point being, like, I don't want to add a process of editing and processing this stuff to get it to you. Yeah, is that kind of what I was saying? Maybe I lost my train of thought. In any case, I think I covered what I was trying to talk about. Let's get to the whole, like, a little bit more meaty content here about, like, the philosophy or my approach when it comes to crashing on the trail. So I'm not talking about the little spills and whatnot where you scrape your elbow, but the ones that are like day enders, where you go down hard enough that, like, when you get to the bottom of the trail, you really don't feel good about getting on the trail. That happened just recently on 10 ply last Tuesday. I was trying to be more aggressive in this one section, actually the same section that I had crashed in before. You're going to see this actually in the next video, kind of what happened. But that was a crash where I was able to get down the trail, but I really wasn't able to ride the rest of the day. So in the past, when stuff like that would happen, it would really make me pretty anxious, pretty apprehensive about that section of the trail, and sometimes even the whole trail, because I didn't want to get on the trail because I'd have to face that part or certain parts of the trail that had put me out for a few days. So, I think this kind of maybe connects back to 650B and a few other features. If you haven't seen that video about, like, overcoming my fear on 650B, you can check that out. But basically, it's easy when you crash hard on something for that thing to become your mental block, for it to just turn into a big thing. And so I know Tony does this, where if he crashes hard, he tries to go back and do it right away. And I try to do the same thing. In some cases, I can't really do it just because of the situation on the trail. Like on 10 ply last week, once I crashed, it would have been like kind of crazy for me to climb back up the trail, and also a bit dangerous because there might be other riders coming down the trail. So that being said, general approach is to not think too much about it. And here's the main thing, here's for me the kind of the meat of it, is I take ownership of my crash. So if I kind of, like, and I think we do this without really thinking about it, but if I kind of put the crash on the trail, like, I crashed because of that big crazy feature, or because of the way the trail was, or whatever, well, now I've let the trail own my ride, right? I'm letting the trail dictate what I can and can't do on my bike. So I've given power up to the trail, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So what I do is I try to look at, what did I do to cause that crash to happen, right? I internalize it, I take it on. And fortunately, I usually have footage of when I crash, because I'm kind of always filming. But if you have footage, that can be really helpful. If you don't, it's good to, like, go back and look at that feature, from the side of the trail safely, and try to see what you did. Like on 10 ply, for instance, what happened is I came in a little faster than I was ready for. I got a little bit on the low line, and then instead of just kind of riding it out, I panic braked. I was, like, looking at the footage, and I realized, like, I went both brakes hard, which is something I haven't done in a really long time. But that's one of those things that kind of happens when I'm in an unfamiliar situation. I'll kind of revert back to old habits, which are usually bad habits. So that was one thing, I let myself revert back. And the other thing is, I saw the line, and I'm looking at the footage now, and I'm saying, like, okay, I should have just been a little bit more to the right. I let myself drift down. And yeah, anyway, not to get too much into the particulars about what happened in that crash, but just generally taking on my part in the crash, knowing that I'm the one in control of the ride, and if I'm not, I need to like chill out. Okay, if I'm on the bike and I'm not really controlling what's going on the bike, probably shouldn't be on the bike that day or for a little while, or reset my brain. So just always owning the ride, whatever happens on the ride, owning that, and then by doing that, it empowers me to go back and change it so I can go back into that trail. I'm actually excited to go back on 10 ply because I want to reconfigure my line, and I'm probably just going to go a little bit slower through there and not worry about my ego about having to be all as fast as I can go on 10 ply. So yeah, there's that. I think that's everything. Is that everything we needed to cover? I hope you dug this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you have any critiques, please hit the comment button and let me know what those critiques are. If you want to see more videos like this or ride videos, hit the comment button. Thanks. Again, thanks for your feedback. Really appreciate it. Good stuff. Gonna go get coffee.